This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you tap that like or tap that subscribe button. Make sure you destroy that like button. Let's get right into this. Well, okay, you guys are gonna have to. You can have whatever opinion you want on this, but there's a lot of sucker-ish going on out here. So, French Montana says that 50 Cent's gonna be on the next live he does. He's trying to squash everything. He's trying to do like Fat Joe and everything do, and he's trying to squash everything. He squashed it with Jim Jones, which I think was still a weird move. You guys might say it's good for hip hop and it's good for New York, guys. You guys don't even understand. So that thing really started with him putting Jim Jones on his DVD, getting chased out of Rucker Park and everything. Then he, was friends with Max B. But I had the same problems with Jim. I just didn't have because I was working with Max B. And Jim would threaten me all the time. And then I'd run into him and everything would be fine. I even went and, you can ask Rec. I went and met Jim Jones at Chung King once by myself. And I told Rec, I said, I don't know if they're going to I don't know if they're going to wash me in here or what, but they should respect me coming down here and meeting up with him, and I did. And that's where you got those Jim Jones stories. There's a part of me that really respects Jim Jones. I do. Okay. He's a hard worker. Okay. He's a hard worker. And there's a part of me that respects, aside of French Montana, he's a hard worker. He maneuvers and he always puts out product and he finds a way. I respect that. I respect hard work. I respect someone, because I've done it. You come from the bottom, they come way worse than I did. They had it harder than I did. But you just start at the bottom shelf and you got to work your way up to a higher shelf. It's hard. There's a lot of obstacles and there's a lot of people stopping you. So the whole thing with Jim Jones and him squashing it is, see, I would never forgive somebody that stopped my bag. So if Max B couldn't really ever get past that, because you're always gonna think Jim Jones was stopping him from making money. That is everything, man. Especially, I don't have any kids. Max B had kids. When someone stops you from eating, now Max B found a way because he's a hustler, right? But what if he wasn't? And this man has signed you and stopped you. French Montana something happened to him from that camp. I'm not going to go into it, and he doesn't really talk about it. But something actually did happen. You can't forgive something like that. And it was something that could have ended bad, okay? But it didn't. But you can't forgive things like that. And French Montana, this is a guy who was so desperate to get on that he filmed Khaled's mother in her store and gave it to 50 Cent. I was friends with Khaled around that time, and he was devastated by that. He didn't know where the footage came from. I did, because I knew certain people that worked at that on the other side at this 50, and they told me where it came from. Okay, so I knew where it came from. I didn't tell Khaled that. I mean, it's not in his business, Now 50 Cent squashing with 50. What's the benefit? It's not real. It's not a real problem. Even the Jim Jones thing wasn't a real problem anymore, and I could see them getting cool again because French Montana isn't as hot as he was a few years ago. Okay, he's in the down cycle. Probably still has plenty of money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's, don't get me wrong. He's an entertainer and he's famous. He's always going to get a check. But them big checks are big checks, and you want to keep chasing them big checks. So he's trying to maneuver different, He's trying to not have people, you also don't want people out here stopping your bags, okay? So if 50 Cent runs into somebody and there's an opportunity for French Montana on the table, but they're loyal to 50, they're going to say, oh, nah, don't do it. And then that stops a bag for French. You never know how your bags are stopping behind the scenes, but it happens. I've seen it, I've seen big opportunities go down the drain because someone doesn't like somebody. 50 Cent might do it. I don't know. This whole being home thing, it makes people a little soft right now. But there's no benefit to it. I can't remember how they even started having a problem with each other. Maybe it was because of the Ciroc thing and it turned left. See, French Montana took it too far. And even recently, he was trying to start with 50 Cent. So now he's trying to start. Maybe this is his way of starting with 50 Cent again by 50 Cent saying, nah, I'm cool on that. Plus, think about it. Jim Jones and 50 Cent have a real issue, okay? We don't know the real reason. We can assume maybe it's because he's friends with Trav and, slowing them. And maybe it's that. Or maybe it's because of the whole thing, the way Jim Jones turned his back on Cameron so easily around that time where, 50 Cent had a problem with Cameron and Jim Jones quickly jumped off Dipset ship and did his own thing. And remember, he met 50 Cent in the basement. I never respected that move. I can understand distancing yourself because you don't want to be a part of all that. But to actually meet up with 50, that's like meeting with the ops. That's like, that's totally flipping, bro. It's just, that's just nah, So I lost a lot of respect for him at that point. And I know Prodigy did. I remember, look at his face in the basement. He was like, yeah, what up, man? Because Prodigy never really flipped around like that. Prodigy was a solid dude. Very good dude. He had his ways about him like any rapper does, but he was a solid person. Prodigy was Prodigy, Special. 50 Cent, I had that feeling about him too, but if he makes up with French Montana, what's the point? Why? There's no reason. It's not even a real problem. French Montana's guys do spins, near the pool, 50 Cent's guys are real good guys in the street. So it's like, I don't know. But we'll see what happens with this. I mean, now he's being Peace Montana, so we'll see. But I hate that. When people when the world's going through something, everybody gets all soft and everything. Oh my gosh. They sing Kumbaya. We'll see how this works out. And you guys can hate on this all you want. You guys can say whatever you want to me. But I'm being real about this. I look at it for what it is, Jim and French, that's cool, It's better to, just be, those guys, so much time passed. I still couldn't forgive somebody that stopped, he said he got the green light for Max, and that's why he did it. I don't know about that. It's like, this guy stopped Max's bag. He made an attempt on you. I could see just having a peace, like, nah, it's over. Let's not feed it anymore, The 50 Cent thing, French was feeding that like crazy just a few months ago to sell his album. And 50 does the same thing, but at least he stands on it. Or at least he lets you know it's a joke. I don't know. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.